Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks a lot for coming. Thank you very much, and welcome to my solo comedy show called Russian Comedian. Thank you very much. I know Russian Comedian sounds like a unique value proposition.
It is.
And a genius search engine optimization. Very easy to find and zero competition. And I know probably Russian Comedian sounds like a ridiculous oxymoron. As if Chewbacca from Star Wars had become a speech therapist. Can you imagine that? Doctor, I have a lisp. Can you help me? I usually use this Star Wars reference to test the waters. If you all laugh at this joke, the night is gonna be great. If you don't, I find your lack of faith disturbing. It's gonna be great. Before the show, I wanted to get some extra energy. I went to a coffee shop. And usually in coffee shops, they write your name on a cup to create an illusion that they care about you. And when they asked me, "What's your name, sir?" I said, "Putin." Then I waited for a few minutes until she loudly announced, "Americano for Putin." So happy. So what's going to happen tonight? Today I'll be sharing my journey from Russia to Asia. There'll be a lot of personal stories. There will be clever jokes. There will be stupid jokes. So if you're into this sort of stuff, you should enjoy the show. And for the rest of you, there will be a dick joke. And it will save your night. I know you don't usually expect Russians to crack jokes on stage. You expect Russians to crack the borders of independent countries. Or your company's security software. Hello, Mikhail. What are you doing during your lunch break? During my lunch break, I break into Pentagon. We'll celebrate with vodka. Hey, bear, would you like vodka? I find it hilarious that a native Russian has to fake Russian accent to make this joke work. I did this joke on the corporate gig, and an IT security manager, his reaction was like, change the password. Because when you're Russian, every joke still sounds like a threat. And that's why, to make my jokes funnier, I type them in Comic Sans font. Very clever. But it still doesn't help because after the shows, people come to me and they say, "Oh, thank you very much, Artur. I really enjoyed your speech." But I still have a question. Are you really from Russia? It always surprises me. I mean, who in the history of humanity has ever benefited from pretending to be Russian? Why can't it help? Can you imagine approaching a girl in a nightclub? "Hello? Can I buy a drink?" "Go away. Go away." But I'm Russian. "Can I buy a drink?" Never happens. Trust me, I tried it many times. Honestly, I think the only situation where it's beneficial to be Russian is if you're chasing someone for money. So So if your clients don't pay you on time, the next call should come from Russians. Hello. My name is Dmitry. Where is my money? If I don't get money this week, I'll send a final invoice. His name is also Dmitry. He doesn't like to wait. He'll get money immediately. I think that should be a real commercial for DBS Pay Now. So people ask me, are you really from Russia? And I say, yes. Moscow? No. St. Petersburg? No. My city is called Kazan. Ah, Kazakhstan! Kazakhstan is another country. Kazan is the capital of the Republic of Tatarstan. Yay! See? Few people know that. And the Republic of Tatarstan is one of the most economically developed and innovative regions of the Russian Federation. Famous for its petrochemical industry, helicopters, trucks, football club, and fried honey dough snack called chak-chak. Welcome to Tatarstan. Space between jokes is available for advertising. So yes, I'm from Tatarstan. Ethnically, I'm not Russian. I'm actually Tatar. It's the second biggest ethnic group in Russia. And we Tatars have our own Tatar language, which is the sexiest language in the world.
Don't lie.
Yeah, it is. You don't believe it? I'll tell you why. You know, for example, Russian language has sounds like ah, oh, ooh. Sounds like someone is beating you. But Tatar language has sounds like ah. Sounds like someone is beating you. But you're enjoying it. And no, thanks to these gentle sounds, we can easily pretend we speak French. Je sens je me sens je. Sounds French, right? But in Tatar language, it means if you want to wash, then wash. So yes, I'm Tatar. Remember me the next time you put that sauce on your fish. I don't know, of course, most people don't know who Tatars are, they just know Russians. And they assume that most Russian men are grumpy, militaristic drunkards. And I think that sometimes these stupid racial stereotypes can be ridiculous. I'll give you an example. Recently my friends asked me, Artur, do you think Indian pigeons shake their heads not like this, but like this? I said, man, that's racism. Stop it. Personally, I'm against pigeon racism. I think there is no difference between Indian pigeons, Chinese pigeons, or Malay pigeons. It's one pigeon, one nation, one Singapore. Advertising. I don't know, I always wanted to change those stereotypical perceptions that exist about Russians. And that's why in university, I studied international relations. I wanted to become a diplomat. And as future diplomats, we had to learn foreign languages, so other nationalities can understand us when we declare war against them. Obvious reasons. I made this joke on my first day to university, and they said, maybe you should become a comedian. Here I am. And then I said, you know what, Arthur? For the next 5 years, you will be studying Chinese language. And at first I was really upset. I almost cried. I say almost because Russians never cry. As true communists, we save tears for the future death of our leader. It's a really good joke. Usually gets an applause break. Not today. Not today. It's unexpected. But then I thought, you know what? China is growing really fast. And most probably it will conquer the world anyway. So maybe it's a good idea to speak their language when they invade us. So when they knock on my door, I could open and say, 你好,欢迎来我家。不好意思，你们的家。If you didn't laugh at this joke, it's time to learn Chinese. Get ready for the future. So I ended up learning Chinese, and I even lived in China for half a year. And before I went there, my father gave me an advice. He said, son, you're already an adult, so don't forget to bring condoms with you. I said, sure, Dad, just buy them in China. He said, no, look at the population. Buy condoms in Russia. Don't trust Chinese rubber manufacturers. I did it once. Now you have a sister. Don't repeat my mistakes. So I packed my bags with Russian condoms and flew to China. And obviously, when I came there, I wanted to impress my Chinese teacher. And in front of the whole class, I confidently said, I came to China by plane. But I mispronounced the tones. So it became, I came to China on a fat chicken. Yeah. Unlike today, the whole room laughed. And at that moment I realized, maybe I should become a comedian. But at the same time I realized that I had to work on my Chinese. And the true language breakthrough happened when I was walking around town and I bumped into a bar called White House. It was run by Americans, surprise. And it was the place where local Chinese gathered to practice their English and discuss world domination. And yeah, they were just sitting there, relentlessly repeating, surrender. Your white supremacy is over. So I was very excited, entered, sat at the bar, and started chatting to the guy next to me. Obviously, he wanted to practice his English, but I wanted to practice my Chinese. So I said, 你好, and he said, surrender. And because his English was not that good, and my Chinese was appalling, we ended up speaking a blistering mix of English and Chinese, like Singaporeans do. I know, truth hurts. Sorry, there is some Russian translation. At least I expect laughter when you finish translation. So then, basically, we started chatting, and he said, "Hey, let's go to the nightclub." And apparently, when you're Russian, in a Chinese nightclub, absolutely everyone wants to drink vodka with you. "Oh, you're Russian. Can I buy you a drink?" And obviously, local Chinese are just showing off how cool they are to drink with foreigners. But I have to drink vodka to endlessly prove my national identity. So obviously, very soon, I would speak fluent Chinese. Because alcohol makes you fluent in any language. So basically, I ended up learning new words in university during daytime. And at night, I applied them in class. And culmination proving that this methodology worked was when one auntie tried to overcharge me at the vegetable store. And I asked her in Chinese, "Is it because I'm a foreigner?" And she went like, "Oh yeah! Which means, "Oh my God, you're so handsome." More or less. And then she started apologizing, and I said, "No worries, auntie, that's okay." And I even paid her some extra money, because I was just so happy that someone finally understood my Chinese. And called me handsome. I don't know, I used to speak fluent Chinese, but recently I haven't been practicing a lot, so it's been dropping. And I think my current level basically allows me not to starve to death. So I can order dumplings. I can say I'm eating a dumpling. And by mistake, I can say I am a dumpling. Which I actually did when I started learning Chinese. Instead of 我吃饺子, I said 我是饺子. And for the next 5 years, that was my nickname. Dumpling. Handsome dumpling. It was fascinating to study and live in China. I think this is where I fell in love with Asia. And after graduation from Russian university, I decided to do my master's degree here in Singapore. I started international business. We had 9 nationalities in the class, different cultures. And every time there was a topic of corruption, everyone asked Russians and Indians. And we had some sort of informal competition of whose corruption is cooler. In our country, if you want to build a school, you have to go to the Ministry of Land and bribe someone. In our country, if you go to the Ministry of Land, there is an official price list for bribes. In our country, we also have this official price list for bribes. But to see it, you have to bribe someone. So I did this joke the other time, and one of the comics told me, "Arthur, maybe you can do this dialogue in Russian and Indian accents. It would be funny." I said it would be racist. And also, I don't want to reveal the winner in this pointless debate. Let our government solve this corruption problem. So I really loved Singapore. Then I went back to Russia to work for a few years. And in my first part-time job there, I worked as a pirate. You're not even surprised. Thanks for that. That's very pirate music. I worked as a pirate entertainer at both kids' parties and corporate events. So I literally dressed up in the same costume of the pirate and I asked the same question, who want to play with a pirate? And small kids shouted, I want to play with a pirate! And 50-year-old drunk female accountant shouted, I want to play with a pirate. She was drunk. I was young. I needed money. Don't judge me. But luckily this nightmare was over very soon. After that I got only proper jobs. And now, like any other proper working adult, I have a professional profile on LinkedIn. It's the largest professional network in the world. And on LinkedIn, almost every day, I have some connection requests from random strangers whose professional headline says, blockchain expert, ICO advisor, cryptocurrency guru. And I'm like, just because my name sounds Russian, it doesn't automatically make me a blockchain expert. What sort of professional racism is that? It's like literally a few days ago, one lady invited me to blockchain cruise. Blockchain cruise? You mean like a ship full of blockchain experts? All the cyber rankers on one vessel. Tell me more, I'm so excited. Give me the exact coordinates so I can send a submarine to torpedo it. And of course after that there will be breaking news. We're sorry to announce that a blockchain cruise sank lower than Bitcoin share price. And the dark irony is that we can't find any bodies because they're all over the place. Decentralized network of dead bodies. That joke was written on blockchain. If you liked it, add me on LinkedIn. So I've been working here in Singapore for about 3 years, and people, every time they hear that I'm from Russia, they keep asking me, Artur, how do you feel moving from minus 30 degrees to plus 30 degrees? I feel hot. No, because Russia is much colder. In fact, we have the coldest place on earth, Bangkok, where the record temperature was minus 72 degrees Celsius. It's so cold that if you're at home watching Titanic and you see the last scene with drowning Leonardo DiCaprio, you would feel he was in jacuzzi. So cold. Almost as cold as the hearts of Russian women. Natasha. She broke my heart. No worries. She's not real. But the pain is. I have to admit that sometimes I do miss absent Siberian frost and adamant Russian females. And the only lifeline that saves me from drinking myself to death is the sound that my iPhone makes when I send heartfelt emails to my parents. You know the sound that iPhone makes when you send emails? It reminds me of Russia. You press the button, missiles fly. My Ukrainian friends hate this joke. I'll actually tell you about one experience that happened with Ukrainians. This August I went to Bangkok International Comedy Competition. There were 24 comics from all around the world, competed for prizes, and Singapore was represented by 3 comedians. And the 3 proud representatives of Singapore were Russian, Indian, and Scottish. The best of Singapore. I guess even with its comedy export, Singapore is promoting racial harmony. So So basically, it was a great experience. But what happened was, in the finals, there was a drunk Ukrainian guy in the audience, and he shouted, "Go back to your country." And obviously, I wanted to shout something funny back to him, but it was too late. Someone already poisoned him. What a sad coincidence. I have no idea who did it. But overall, the trip was really cool because it was Bangkok, the city where girls are not always girls, and where ping pong is not a sport. And in Bangkok, for the first time in my life, I saw a ladyboy. This ladyboy was talking to an old British guy in some dark alley, and they were arguing about some numbers. I guess discussing economic consequences of Brexit. So I just left. Like the UK.
Not yet.
You can't avoid inevitable. Yeah, I think many people like Singapore because of these travel opportunities. I still remember going to Boracay in the Philippines. Really enjoyed it until Chinese came to the beach. Seriously, one moment I was in this paradise alone, and the next I was teleported back to China. Seriously, so many Chinese people shouting, frying insects, violating human rights. Felt like home. And as you all know, when Chinese arrive somewhere, construction works begin. So they quickly dug MRT station right on the beach. Shanghai Boracay. Next to it, they built a huge sandcastle. Second floor KTV. First floor selling noodles. Basement, Chinese kids sewing shoes. No worries. Later, I saw these kids playing some games like democracy. I quickly lost interest. I remember wandering along the beach in Boracay. Soft white sand mildly crumbled under my feet. Salty ocean breeze lightly blew into my face. And mysterious rustle of the waves lulled me to sleep. And then suddenly, in the middle of the darkness, I saw her. She was standing there in her irresistible beauty and charming majesty. Her innocent shyness and sincere smile lit up the flame of hope in my cold Russian soul. She looked straight into my eyes and gently whispered, "Sir, massage." I said no. And the flame of hope was gone. No worries. She's not real. But the pain is. So many people keep asking me, Artur, how did you even start doing comedy? An interesting fact is that I never did stand-up in Russia. I only started doing it here in Singapore. And I still remember my first open mic. I was very nervous. I was bad. I brought friends. Never saw them again. But I think in general, my passion for performing on stage came into my life like Vladimir Putin. I don't remember when exactly it started, but quickly realized it's forever. Russians in the audience can relate to that feeling. But I think my first proper stage experience was when I was playing on a bass guitar in a death metal band. I know many people are surprised because I don't look like a typical metalhead. Short hair, no piercing, no tattoos, butterfly on lower back. And all my bandmates, they all were the same. So when we played a death metal festival, we all looked like the Killers warming up the crowd for Cannibal Corpse. It's a painfully niche musical reference. Very few people got it in the audience. I guess I just dramatically miscalculated the crowd. Yeah, expected more birds, to be honest. So yeah, I played death metal, but to be honest, I never did any crazy things on stage, like burning a guitar or biting off a head of a bat. Because, you know, I didn't want to upset Batman. This bat could be his cousin. And also I think that Batman is still depressed after Stan Lee passed away. Yes, he's from another universe, but empathy is universal. And moreover, I think that Batman is even more depressed after Batman vs Superman movie, which, as you all remember, was a massive pile of bad shit. And honestly, I can clearly visualize depressed Batman. I think he's fat, depressed, has a huge beard. The beard is so big that an actual bat lives there. So when someone approaches Batman, the bat aggressively spreads the wings, says Batman is not available. Please leave your message after the signal. But you can't hear the signal because bats use ultrasound waves. That's a clever joke. Then it gets time to reach this ultrasound wave. And when Batman's assistant opens the door, he sees Batman sitting on a windowsill. Very sad. Next to him there is a half-empty bottle of Bacardi. Because Bacardi has a bat on its logo. Bad Religion is playing on the background. Batman is smoking his bat cigarettes, which is bad for his bat health. And then he just turns and says, "Not now, Alfred." I'm in bad mood. I love how this bit always splits the audience. A few people laughing and clapping, and these are the innovators moving ahead of the curve, enjoying the depressed Batman joke before they became mainstream. And then the rest of you just silently stare at me. What the hell was that, Artur? Why did you tell that to me? Trust me, there is a meaning behind it. What I was trying to say is that all superheroes are also humans, and as such, they're prone to depression and social isolation. And I'm not sure that we're talking about that in our modern society. I've never seen any Superman is super sad awareness campaigns. Stop violence against Wonder Woman charities. Spider-Man Web of Hope marathons. Not even half marathon. Nothing. Just complete ignorance. As if this problem does not exist. As if all these superheroes are just fictional characters. That was supposed to be a big bunch of If you still didn't laugh, I'm afraid you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. I know probably after this depressing beat, I need to shift gears a bit. I need to talk about something light and bright. Genocide. Have you ever realized that the biggest crimes in human history were committed by men? Hitler, Pol Pot, Stalin, Mao, no female person.
Cleopatra.
It might fit, but for the purposes of this show, I'm afraid I would say wrong answer. I apologize. I really appreciate that you're investing in the show, but it's not an interactive one.
How about Mrs. Thatcher?
Oh, don't push it. Okay, Thatcher, go.
Correct!
Go.
No. Let's assume that there are no female mass murderers, because otherwise the joke won't work. So why there are no mass murderers who are female? Good.
You're working for me too.
Oh.
I know the answer. Why there are no female mass murderers? Because all the mass murderers that I mentioned, they were all dictators. That's my dick joke. Which is disguised as a gender inequality joke, which in turn is disguised as a genocide joke. So in fact, it's a Russian Matryoshka doll joke. Very proud of it. I don't know, I told you about this dick joke in the beginning of the show, right? So in a way, this dick joke is like my volleyball jump serve. You saw it coming, but you couldn't block it. And by the way, in volleyball, you're not even allowed to block a serve. That's a joke for my beach volleyball friends. I hope it serves you well. I'm sorry, no more volleyball puns. Otherwise, I'll end up in court.
I'll take it.
Yeah, you have to work on your receipts. Ouch, ouch. Oh God, oh God. So much fun. So I know, I mentioned those dictators, including Joseph Stalin, and I'm very glad that most of you laughed at that, because when I tell this joke to my family, my granddad was very angry, because my grandfather is a hardcore communist. Oh, he absolutely loves communism. He always talks about communism. He always votes for communists. He's a Communist Party animal. Communist Party animal. Communist Party? Party animal. Communist Party animal. I think it's fine. You don't think so? That's okay. I'll move on. I'm a professional. But it hurts. But paradoxically, the only thing that my granddad loves more than communism is money. Seriously, he loves money so much that his favorite Russian folk song goes like this. Money, money, money's everywhere. If you have no money, life is very bad. If you have money, you dress like gentlemen. If you have no money, you look like an earthworm.
In Russian.
Do it in Russian. In Russian, please.
Any other jokes on demand?
Just that song in Russian, please.
That's fine. When there will be encore after the show, not here, I will do it. Thank you very much.
Private
for participation.
showing, that's amazing.
Private showing,
Private
okay.
showing, great.
Yeah. Well, this is my agent, by the way. Can negotiate the price. 20%.
We're not drinking anything.
That's very sad because we need bar sales.
Not with him. Your agent.
Thank you. Let's pretend this conversation didn't happen. Just jumping back to the material. You were laughing at the communist jokes. What a song, what a song. I'll put it on my ringtone, right? But you know, I think you have to understand my granddad's obsession with money because he never had it. You know, he spent his entire life working at a leather drying factory in Soviet Union. So the salaries were low, leather was dry, and everyone was dry all the time. And he used to drink a lot as well, until one night he was so drunk that he lost his winter hat. In Russia. It's a self-imposed capital punishment. And if you're not laughing at this joke, you've never seen snow? And you know, it was a very expensive hat from Czechoslovakia. So the hat disappeared, so did Czechoslovakia. A very rare geopolitical reference from 1990s. Comedy and history. We'll laugh and learn. So obviously my grandmother, she was very upset. She shouted at my granddad and said, "I will divorce you because of the hat from a non-existent country." And that night my granddad promised her to never drink again. And guess what? He has recently celebrated 50 years without alcohol. What a willpower of my granddad. And manipulation skills of my grandma. Wise one. But my granddad is actually, I think he's really worth it because he's also very smart ass. No, when I was a kid, we used to play chess a lot. And my grandfather is grandmaster. Because first of all, he never explained the rules to me. Then we started playing, and somehow by some miracle I started winning. And he would always say, "Okay, let's go with the draw." Of course I would refuse. And then he would just throw the chessboard away, just grab me, and do this. Let's finish another time. Chess and mate, what can you do? And you know, he's been always a joker, but the problem is that his jokes, unlike wine, do not get better with age. Yeah, his jokes are more like vodka. They just hurt everyone around you. You know, one day I told him I got a pay raise, and he went like, "Oh, Russian oligarch. What are you gonna do with all this money? Hide it in the bathroom?" That's his joke. I don't have enough context, but I'm sure it killed in 1960s. And usually when he does a joke, he just doubles up with laughter. Doubles up with laughter. There's just 10 seconds of silence. I start getting worried. "Granddad, are you okay?" And then he just inflates back. You're so funny, Artur. I almost died. Yeah, he's a funny man. I know, he really loves me, and I guess now his only worry is that I'm still not married. And that's why every time I have a Skype call with my parents, he comes on the background, and he always says, Artur, I found a woman for you. In the park. A good woman.
Going on.
Hope we'll make enough money to.
Shove it in there. Yeah, we get the picture.
Yeah.
Right.
Just hold that. Just hold it like that. Hold it like that.
In the park, you say?
So yeah, he always says like, I found a woman for you in a park. A good woman.
In the park.
She has a car. A car. An apartment. And inside the apartment, she has a bathroom. Granddad jokes. Yeah, it was a callback. 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 Oh, wait. Hello. I'll just stand like that. We'll deliver all the other jokes without any act-outs. Just imagine that I'm very active, giving you a lot of emotions, gesticulations, some mimic heroism, and I will just keep talking. So, I forgot it. And what do professionals do? Well, it's time to drink water. Thank you very much. So yeah, basically, I'm not married. I've been actively prospecting and trying to penetrate local markets. But conversion rate is very low. And I know, to be honest, I'm not interested in one-off ad hoc projects. I'm looking for long-term, mutually beneficial cooperation. And I firmly believe that one day I'll meet a passionate co-founder to start a joint venture, invest seed capital. And within payback of 9 months, expand family business. Yeah, lots of writing, but very low ROI in terms of laughter. I apologize for this corporate jargon. I just need to at least somehow justify my business degree. I guess we have to wrap it up very soon. So yeah, I think now my main passion obviously seems to be comedy and fighting with mics and wires. And comedy is a competitive art form. You're not competing only against comedians, but also equipment. And you know, comedy is tough. It's like only 1% success rate, you know? Maybe only 1 out of 100 comics will become a big comedy star. And if it happens, all of you can say, oh, 10 years ago, I saw this Russian comedian. He was not laughing. He was not funny. And 10 years passed, and he's still doing the same jokes. Yes, I'll be doing the same jokes, but I will be on Netflix and making millions. So hope to see you in 10 years. And I hope that I'll be still in Singapore because I really, really love this place. To be honest, as a Russian, I feel like home in Singapore because I moved from one democratic country to another. Same, but different. I mean, look, we have Vladimir Putin, right? And he has been in power for more than 18 years. Yeah, exactly. That's a happy Russian laughter. Because you know, for 18 years, we had no intrigue with Russian presidential elections. And that's why we Russians had presidential elections in America.
Putin just extended his presidency.
That's fine, yeah.
It's not fine, is it?
It is alright. Should the Donald do the
Is it
same?
fine?
I think we can turn this political debate
Is it
into the continuation of the show if you will stop talking. We would appreciate it.
I'm
That's
sorry.
fine. Stop the ventriloquist show. It's you, I know. So yeah, there's just no intrigue in Russia, you know? And I think in similar way, Singapore elections, it's like broken Tinder. You can swipe left, right, doesn't matter. You always get the same match. After this political joke, my diplomatic career was over. But you know, even if I didn't become a diplomat, I think I became a Russian comedy ambassador. And I hope that transformational power of comedy can help me. And some of you tonight will leave the show thinking, oh well, not all racial stereotypes are true. This guy is the funniest Russian spy I've ever seen. And, you know, Martin Luther King started his famous speech by saying, I have a dream. And tonight I would like to finish my show by saying the same. I have a dream that one day I'll catch a beautiful lady if she falls in public transport. I think it would be very romantic, you know? We're in MRT, train suddenly stops, she's flying next to me. I catch her. She says, thank you. Looks into my eyes. Kisses me. Then we make beautiful kids. And I will finally get my PR. Thank you very much, guys.